Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the middle of October 2020. This month, if you want to catch me live, I go live every single day at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell, and you will catch me live. But let's see what is going on for you here. Definitely some news coming in this month. We'll see, is this good news? What kind of news is this for you here? I feel like there's a need to slow things down this month as well, but this looks pretty interesting. You have a lot of blue showing up here in this reading. I don't usually pay attention to that, just so you know, Leo, but I do notice that there is a lot of blue showing up in this reading. Could be very emotional for the rest of the month, which would make sense to me. I mean, there's just a lot of emotional stuff going on in the astrology. Could also just be kind of more withdrawn this month as well. You start off with the Queen of Swords here. I feel like the word discernment is popping into my head here. I also feel like you're it's almost like you're preparing for something, I feel, and maybe that's why all this blue energy is showing up. The Queen of Swords to me can represent the step before authority, like right before you're about to step into a position of leadership or standing out. And you have the Strength card showing up here in this position, and that's very interesting. That's you, and that could be you standing out for the rest of the month. You come into the month here, or the rest of the month, with the Message in a Bottle card here. I feel like you're like waiting for news or waiting for some communication here from a person, especially if there was an ending here in a situation. I almost feel like someone could be having regrets in a love situation, and it's almost like you can both feel each other, I feel, in this situation. So I do feel for a lot of you, if you're dealing with like a no contact situation, I feel like there was an ending here with the Death card. I feel in a lot of ways you keep feeling pulled to end it, which is weird, but we'll talk about that right now. You have the Death card, the Eight of Wands, and the Five of Cups. I feel for some of you, it's like you actually don't want to communicate with this person, or I feel either if this is someone from the past, Leo, I feel like either you don't want to communicate with them, or it's like you're almost like both refusing to communicate with each other, I feel, with that Eight of Wands. So I do feel like for some of you, either you need to open up, or I feel like you need to kind of like let this situation go. For a lot of you, you have the Five of Cups here, and I feel for a lot of you, this is actually saying there might be regrets in a situation, but I feel like you're turning around, and it's like you're just open to a new adventure. I'm using a new spread, by the way, Leo. It looks the same as the spread I was using, but this position here is kind of like an advice position down in this corner, and so the Five of Cups coming up as advice could just say that you're turning around, you're seeing what you do have in life, and it's kind of like once you turn around, then you see this bridge to this castle over here. So it kind of like removes sadness. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's like you could be in a no contact situation, or there was a difficult ending, and now you're just seeing something that could lead to your happiness. You even have the Ace of Swords here. I do feel for some of you, there could be some sort of truth coming out in a situation. My problem with this middle row here, Leo, is that if this is the truth coming out in a love situation, just putting all these cards together, it just strikes me as one of those situations where it's like someone comes in to kind of tell you the truth, and it's like then you ask another question, like another truth comes out, and then you ask another question, another truth comes out. It's like, why not just tell the truth up front, is what I feel like saying here. So for some of you, but the good news is, I feel like you're seeing it, is what I should say with this Hangman. So this feels like a weird situation, feels like one of those situations where it's like you're seeing that it's like someone comes in and they're like, oh, I want to tell you the truth, or I want to bring in clarity here, or I want to tell you something. But it's like you ask one thing and then they tell another truth, and then like another truth comes out, and it's just like one after another. So I feel like you're seeing that's like why am I having to fight for this person to tell the truth? It's like they came in wanting to tell the truth, or telling me that they're going to tell the truth, but I keep getting more to the story. So I feel like for some of you, it's like this person just doesn't tell the truth, is what I'm trying to get at. You have the Hangman, the Knight of Swords here, and the Page of Wands here. The Hangman is kind of like saying, I feel that you are taking some time in a situation to gain some clarity. I would say the Hangman puts himself in Hangman mode. He is hanging himself there so that he can gain enlightenment, so that he can gain clarity in a situation. I feel like for a lot of you that you're just not rushing. Like if someone comes in to communicate, it's like, look, it's really interesting. The Eight of Wands is over here, and I feel like that could be someone rushing with communication, and it's like you're pointing this way, right, with the Knight of Swords, rushing back with communication, but I almost feel like saying that you're not going to do that. I feel like someone could be communicating with you from the past, some past situation. I feel like you're just kind of like pausing it here, and you're just kind of like waiting and seeing what happens. I feel like you have time. You have this Winter card here, and it's saying the sacredness of pausing. This is coming up in your reward position, actually. So normally that would be a challenging card, but it's kind of coming up in a good position. So I'm wondering if you're just putting something on pause here, you're waiting to communicate. For those of you not dealing with love, again, I feel like this could be some other type of communication. It could be like legal communication, it could be about a job. And I feel like saying you have time. There's no reason to rush here with this situation. You have the Page of Wands as well. Page of Wands, I feel like this feels like that excitement to me where you finally have moved past a difficult ending. And again, this could be anything. I feel like this Page of Wands is you, really. I feel like you're kind of like looking off into the distance, and I feel like you're starting to get excited about like what the future could hold for you here, Leo. And I feel like you're saying, you know what, maybe I had this past person who couldn't really tell me the truth anyway. I still feel a connection to them, but there's like more out into the world. For others, I feel almost like a glow up here. I wouldn't really necessarily call this a glow up, but maybe you've just gone through a breakup or a separation. Maybe you've made some improvements in your life, and you're just kind of like, you know what? I've made myself better than this person, so I'm just going to move on, and I'm just going to move on to something new. You have this Winter card here, which says the sacredness of pausing. So I do feel for some of you, there is a lot of patience in this reading. Knight of Swords, I felt patience, actually. Knight of Swords is normally rushing, but I feel like you're being patient. You have the Strength card as well. So I do feel that you have like the benefit of time for the rest of the month, especially if someone's coming in trying to rush you. I feel like there's no rush. I feel like you'll have the rest of the month. So if someone's coming in with very quick communication, I feel like you just need to put that person on pause, right? And take your time in making a decision. For others of you, I feel like this whole reading, I feel, could be also talking about momentum in your life as well. I feel like you're noticing that changes could be happening a lot faster, and this is a good thing. I feel like you could be kind of gaining a lot of momentum in work or business, and this could be leading to a lot of success as well. So I do feel like success here. You have the Strength card, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Wands showing up here. I feel like you are kind of more in your element. I feel like you're more focused on nurturing and caring for yourself with the Strength card and the King of Cups in these two positions here. So I definitely like to see that. I also feel like you're in this position where it's like you're just not going to be rushed in this middle row to make decisions in the future. I feel like you're in a much more like calmer state. I actually really like this reading for you, Leo. I feel like you're kind of like mentally, once we get through this month, I feel like you're going to be in like a much calmer place where it's like you're going to be slowly making decisions. You're not going to allow anyone to rush you into making a choice or anything like that. I also feel like you're going to be putting yourself first. That's what this reading is. I know what this reading is now, Leo. I feel like this is saying that you are kind of making yourself your own mental point of origin. It's like you are thinking about yourself first, and there's nothing wrong with doing this. You know, our whole lives we're told we can't be selfish and like all this other stuff, but really we should be selfish. You know, if we take care of ourselves first, and if we make ourselves the best version of ourselves first, then we can help other people. And that's, you know, if more people did that, then, you know, world would be a much better place. You know, everything probably would be taken care of because, you know, we wouldn't have a bunch of broken people running around, right? So I feel in a lot of ways you are making yourself your own mental point of origin here, and you're making all decisions from yourself first. And I feel like this is a good thing. And you end with this Nine of Wands here. I feel like you are just more in this position of willing to experiment, willing to try new things. This is coming up in your outcome position, and this is actually a very good card as well in this last position. So I feel like you're more willing to experiment, more willing to try new things in life, and I like that. It's like you're more adventurous. So that looks good. But let's clarify through here, Leo. And let's see. Between the Death card and the Hangman, you have the Queen of Diamonds. Definitely at a crossroads, having a choice to make. Again, I do feel for some of you, this could be someone who will be like begging to come back here. Like, look, on this Death card, it's almost like this person is begging the Death Rider there to kind of like come back or for something. So I feel like for some of you, this could be a message that you receive, someone begging to, come back into your life or whatever. But I feel like you have a choice whether or not to take, we all have choices, right? So I feel like you have a choice whether or not to take someone back. Between the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords, Two of Clubs. Two of Clubs is you talking to yourself. Like I said, I feel like you will be getting communication here from someone who has been too stubborn to communicate and they finally open up. And that Two of Clubs is a card of you and your higher self. It's a card that says, like I was saying earlier, just intuitively on that Knight of Swords, I kind of felt like maybe you're more taking your time. Maybe you're thinking about decisions before you make them. And so that's what I feel like you're doing. So I love it. Between the Five of Cups and the Page of Wands, Two of Hearts. Two of Hearts is true love. And on this deck, there is a lion on it as well, Leo. So I feel like you're just making decisions for you here. And I also feel like you could be focused on new love. I feel like for some of you, you could be saying like, this person has regrets. But number one, this to me looks like a situation, like I was saying earlier, where it's someone who just can't tell the truth in the first place, or it's like they do tell the truth, but you have to drag it out of them in the first place. So I feel like you're kind of moving away from that. And I feel like you're choosing to love yourself first. And I also feel like you're seeing that there's just new love for you in general. Between the Hangman and the Strength card, you have the Queen of Spades. This is called the Bouquet. So I do feel like for some of you, this could be love coming in, and it could be someone who's coming in with a gift. Again, we're going to clarify through and see what comes up. Between the Knight of Swords and the King of Cups, you have the Six of Hearts. This is called the Star, and it represents like a turnaround. The Star, to me, represents obstacles being removed from your life this month, Leo. So I do feel like there could be like the removal of obstacles, or things could be getting easier for you. Between the Page of Wands and the Nine of Wands, you have the Ace of Clubs. Love it. Ace of Clubs is a card of called the Ring, and it can represent marriage. So for some of you, you could be meeting someone new that you will marry. Again, I feel like this is almost like a test, cutting out this past person, because I feel like there's still a very strong connection there. But it's like there's someone new coming in who's going to be very kind, caring, nurturing, someone who is very serious as well. I do feel like I said, don't allow I feel like there is a need to not be pressured into things this month. Knight of Swords, this the sacredness of pausing, the Eight of Wands, this is like rushy energy, right? And I would just say avoid it. Like even if we take this diagonal here, it's like Five of Cups, Knight of Swords. If you rush, there will be regrets. Strength card, if you're patient, then things will probably go well. Top row, you have the Three of Clubs, card of second chances. Crazy. This second chances card I almost never see it, and it's been coming up a lot. So I feel like for a lot of you, there could be a second chance coming in for you. It's not like a second chance in love. It's like a second chance at love, for example. So if you're looking for love, there could be love coming in, and it's probably like a new person, but it could be true love that's coming in for you. In your middle here, you have the Four of Spades. The Four of Spades is a card of resting, relaxing, recovering. So I do feel like it would be a good time for you to rest, relax, recover, and kind of like take your time this month. In your bottom row here, you have the Ace of Spades, the Lady. The Lady is a card of existing problems being resolved. So I do feel like for a lot of you, you could be like overcoming some obstacles or challenges here. That's a very good reading is what I'd say to you. Very withdrawn energy. You do have the Three of Diamonds. Definitely be careful of your paperwork. I'd say do not get rushed into signing anything either with this here. Again, I do feel like some of you could be dealing with legal situations or something official with that Queen of Swords and Ace of Swords. The Three of Diamonds is a card of problems with paperwork, especially legal paperwork. So I would be very careful of signing anything. Make sure to if you're dealing with something legal, make sure to listen to a lawyer. If you need to get a lawyer, make sure to do that. But I would pay attention to the details there. You have the Four of Clubs. Four of Clubs is called Mercury retrograde. I call it that. To me, the Four of Clubs in the playing card reading system just represents retrograde energy, things being slow, things taking their time, needing to redo things. So just typical. And you have the Six of Clubs as well. Everybody getting the Six of Clubs. Six of Clubs is a card of burdens or challenges. I do feel like we could be looking at a lot of challenges and burdens that we have. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like a situation like we're in right now with the coronavirus, it kind of like magnifies any burdens or challenges or any, things that we deal with in our lives, because it's kind of like just this major problem. So I do feel like some of you could be feeling burdened, but the good news is you have 2 6s here, and 2 6s to me says you're on the right path, you're going in the right direction. I just wouldn't rush anything here. And again, I would be careful of someone where you keep having to drag the truth out of them. with this situation is what I'd say to you. I do feel like some of you could be feeling withdrawn. Like I said, spending more time at home for the rest of the month here. I feel like it would be a good time for you to channel your energy as well. Page of Wands. Page of Wands can be like a little bit of a restless energy. So maybe for the rest of this month, it would be a good time to finish up anything that has been unfinished. I keep getting something about you as well. Like for some of you, I feel like you could be like wanting to stick to a health routine, or this could be just like a personal development thing as well, Leo. And I do feel like there is a need for you to stick to it, whatever it is. Yeah, avoid toxic situations, avoid anything that is not good for you. The Swan, yeah, more withdrawn energy. This is a card of like serenity, being in a place of calmness. So I do feel like some of you could just be kind of taking care of yourself for the rest of the month. You have the Starfish, making sure that something is deeper than it appears. The Starfish is about like shallow energy. So I do feel like for some of you to have peace this month, these three cards are saying for you to have peace this month, you need to make sure that something has depth, that something, you're not constantly dragging stuff out of something, like I was saying earlier here. It doesn't have to be love. This could be just people in your life. This could be situations, pretty much anything. Yeah, you have the Hierophant. I don't know, this is like a lesson that you've learned a lot for a long time. I feel like you give people in life in general the benefit of the doubt, and maybe you always get burned. And I feel like you could be examining that this month. But I feel like this is a good thing as well. So I like this. So thank you for watching, Leo, and definitely enjoy your month.